Buddy,
Hi.
can you hear us?
Hello. Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, good. We're going to give it a couple minutes to let everybody get in here. Um, and we have not done a Zoom meeting for a long time, so bear with us. We're learning our way. Right, Lee?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll introduce ourselves in a sec. I just want to do the view different. So, let's see, speaker.
You know how to do that, right, Deb?
I hope so, Keith.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Bobby. How are
Hi.
you?
Good.
Are you going tonight?
Uh, actually, I'm gonna have my watch party here at home, actually.
Oh,
Alright.
nice.
Oh, geez. Yeah, my parents doesn't want to be out that late, so
Hi,
We'll
that's
come
all
to
Laura.
your
right.
house.
Bobby right
Yeah.
Hi,
there.
I
everybody.
have a party
Hi.
at
Hey,
There
Bobby.
you
go.
Hi, Laura.
Hi.
All right,
Hey,
I
how
have
you
to
doing?
Do
figure
it,
out
Deb.
how to get to our
I made it.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, I did.
I'm sorry.
PowerPoint.
Oh, Bob.
Okay. Do you
Yep,
guys
you
see
did it.
our
Yep.
screen?
Yep. Good
Okay.
job.
Thank you. Thank you. And
Yep,
thank
yep,
you
yep.
for your patience with us. Like I said, we're kind of we haven't done this in a while. All right. Let us introduce ourselves to get started.
Hi, my name is Leah Keith.
I am Debbie Corey, Leah's mother.
Alright.
I'm Steve Alfano, support staff.
All right. Do we think everybody that's coming here is in here now? Hopefully.
I think so.
Yeah,
I
it's gonna
believe
be.
so. Yeah,
There,
they'll
Katie.
come in when they're ready.
All right. So we have a PowerPoint that we're going to share with you.
Yeah.
Leah's going to present Making Dreams Come True about
Yes.
how she made her own dreams come true
Yeah.
with some support.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have a session afterwards where we can answer questions.
Yes.
And Steve is here to answer questions or talk about how he has supported through directed supports, supported Leah through her making dreams come true. And I've sort of managed the paperwork piece
Yeah.
and, making sure things happen and that kind of things. But Leah's the boss of her own life.
Yes, I am.
All right, so let's get started. Is everybody ready for us?
I'm
Uh-oh.
Yep.
ready.
Sorry about that. This will happen because, oh, there we go.
Okay, here we go.
All right. Can you guys can see it, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Alright. Yeah, I went to Bristol Community College and I did theater and film studies and I did some acting and I also did poetry.
So that was your transition from high school,
Yes.
correct? You decided you wanted to go to college
Yes.
and you were interested in theater.
Yeah, I did a theater, did some acting, and I also write some poems for it too.
What was that play on the right picture? What's that all about? The picture on the right.
That one?
Yeah,
That's Treasure Island.
Treasure Island. And what was your role in that?
I was the beggar.
You were the beggar thief, if I recall. And yeah, you were on stage. You
Yes, I
performed
was.
in front of
Yeah.
many people, and
Yes, I was.
you even had to be taught how to fall without hurting yourself,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Was there something else you wanted to say? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, that's another play that I did.
On the left.
It was Shakespeare.
Yeah, and you did plays in the huge theater.
Yeah,
and
I
then
also
you
did Matchsticks.
matchsticks. And then you did studio plays where you and
Yeah.
your theater group would create
Yes, I
skits,
did.
and
Yes.
you
Yes.
wrote for it. And you took the class like everyone else, right?
Yes, I did.
Do you remember what grade you got? It's right.
I got an A.
You did. And you took a
Wow.
few classes. Yeah, she did. She
Yeah.
got A's.
Yeah.
Did you have some help and support?
Yes, I did. I had Bonnie, I had Gabby.
hmm They were your support staff.
Yes, they were.
They took you. What else did they do to help you through it?
Um,
Scribe.
oh yeah, they helped me to describe things, but I mostly did it on my own.
Yep. So they helped you with taking notes in the
Yes.
classroom. And one thing I just want to mention is that Leah and I visited disability services at Bristol Community College. Every college has a disability service by law. Every person with a disability has a right to have accommodations in college. And you go to this office and they will look at documents maybe that your doctor had provided or an IEP from high school.
Yeah.
They will make accommodations. Like for instance, if you need someone to take notes for you or you need more time, they won't change. They won't modify what you're learning. So they won't change what you're learning, but they will make accommodations so that you can access the education. That's a little different than high school.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's anybody that has a disability has a right to that, to go to disability services and get those needed accommodations, whatever they may be. So that's
Yes.
something to keep in mind if you guys want to go to college, okay?
I'm also an actor, also, Leah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right,
but it's a different story.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. You should be doing a workshop too. Bob's
Yeah, I
a
could have, yeah.
actor.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, so we'll go on to the next slide, okay?
Yes.
All right. As soon as I can figure there we go.
Yeah, there
Okay.
you go. Yeah, that's my studio. And I had a show there, and I sell my art and my books. And those are my friends, Bonnie and Steve and Gabby.
And they're
They're
also,
my support staffs.
yes,
They also help me out with a lot of things.
a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's me and Steve and Deb Kanai. I was at A&A, taught me to vote and taught me how to voice.
How to use your voice, right? To
Yeah.
speak up.
Yeah, speak up.
And what were we talking about a little earlier about finding out what your passions are in life?
Yeah. My passion was art and writing.
And how did you find that out? When did you know that?
I knew that how to do everything.
You tried to do it. You
I
tried.
tried to do everything.
So trying out all different things
Yes.
was how you found out that
Yes.
you wanted to be an artist and a writer.
Yeah.
But you tried out some things you didn't want to do, right?
Yeah, I did a Special Olympics, but I tried it, but it
It wasn't for you.
wasn't for me.
So you tried it. You tried a lot of different things, but
Yeah.
that wasn't for you.
Right.
And that's okay. And using your voice to say, that's not what I want to do is okay too, right?
Yes, it is.
So using your voice and trying all kinds of things
Yes.
helps you figure out who you are and what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And also,
Oh yeah, I also took a class at Ruth Museum.
Mhm.
I did sculptures. I did things.
Well, I said I didn't.
Yeah, Barry. They're
Egyptian.
Egyptians. I did pastels.
Yeah. So it was really cool. Like you got to go. Steve brought Leah and
Yeah.
supported Leah and did art yourself, right? You became part of that group
Yeah.
doing
Yeah,
art and supporting.
and it was great and fun.
Yeah, and it was part of VSA,
Yeah.
which we'll talk about. But also, didn't you get invited to audit? An audit, by the way,
Oh yeah.
is when you get to go to a college class, but it's not for a grade. It's just to be part of the
Yeah.
class. And you were invited to audit a master's level class.
Yes, I did. I
Um,
loved it. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
great.
And what was the artist that you learned really related to?
Oh, I like Tendency.
Kandinsky.
Good, Kandinsky.
Yeah, you learned a lot about Kandinsky and
And Andy Warhol.
yeah, Andy.
Oh,
so
yes.
yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
The class would really explore the museum and then do some art based on a theme.
Yes, like I did. I did like well, I took some paper and I made a collage out of
You really do.
the different styles and stuff.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
And Steve, what were some of the ways that you supported Leah during that class?
I think just getting Leah there
Big
and
one, yeah.
encouraging
Hey,
Yeah.
Steve, can you move closer to the mic?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think with this class, I just helped get Leah there on time, and then Leah did the class fine, and I was just kind of there to help out if needed. But I think it's just best to be encouraging and
Follow her lead,
Yeah.
but not get in the
yeah,
way or something, right?
try not to get in the way and just be there to help out.
You know what? I have a question. Leah really started to explore her passion for art when you came on board, and I know that you're an artist too. And what ways did you help Leah and encourage Leah to find her own style in art?
Yeah, I think it was important to set aside a time specifically where we did art. And so
Yeah.
we would always have that, and we try new things. We talk about art,
Yeah.
we talk about different styles, we look at different styles of art, and I think it's and you were into
Yeah.
it, so we kept doing it, and so naturally we got more into it and finding things that you like to do.
I also noticed that Leah writes poetry and
Yes,
sometimes
I do.
stories.
Yes. Yes. And I've been doing that like forever.
Yeah, sure. And Steve, like you speak and Steve writes it down for you?
Yes.
Yeah. And I noticed, Steve, that you ask Leah questions that helps her kind of think about what she's writing. And
Yeah.
does that help you, Leah?
Yes. Thank you for that.
Mm.
I kind of do remember making that.
What is that?
The sculpture.
Oh,
Yeah,
let's show it.
sculpture.
Yeah.
Why don't you show them so they know?
Yeah, this is what I made at the Risk Museum.
Yeah, and they can see a picture of sculpture right there. I don't know
Yeah.
if you can see what she's holding, but it's one of the sculptures
Yeah.
that, so she learned a lot of different kinds of
Yeah.
art, collage, painting.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move
I
on.
do acrylics.
All right, look at this. What's this about?
Oh, this is I presented poetry.
And this is about
The
VSA.
VSA. I also did the disability for American.
The American with, it was the celebration, the
It was the
25th anniversary
celebration
of the ADA
and the ADA.
at
Yeah.
the Pawtucket Town Hall. That's the American with Disability Act. You
Yeah.
were asked to present
A poem. Yeah.
about freedom and
Yes.
human rights.
Yeah. Freedom, rights, boys, opportunities.
Yeah, and in the right-hand corner, I see something that looks like some of the poems that won
Yeah.
awards.
Yes.
And I see you presenting in a lot of places.
Yeah. I also went to the town hall.
Yeah, and who do we see a lot in the pictures?
Oh, that's my friend Janine.
Janine Chartier
Yeah.
was such a great mentor.
Yeah. Great friend too.
Yeah, and she really promoted accessibility.
Yeah. She was a warrior too.
Yes, she was. Unfortunately, we lost her.
Yeah.
She passed away, but we'll always remember her as
Yeah.
such a special person in our lives. And she believed in accessibility of the arts for people with disabilities, for everyone.
Yeah.
And she made that happen
Yeah.
through VSA.
And I always say different is good.
Yeah, what's your favorite quote? I am different.
I am different. Different is good.
Yeah, I love that. That's my favorite quote too. All right, but that's Leah made that quote.
Yes.
All right, here we are.
Yeah, that's my studio at Cutler Mills in Warren. And that's where I do my work, my paintings, my writing. And I've been in the paper.
They wrote an article on the front page.
Yes.
When you opened your very own studio. This
Yes,
is your
I did.
studio.
Yeah.
But it's in it's at 30 Color Street, and we were talking about this earlier. Who's in this mill with you? People have studios, but what kind of studio?
Oh, I have friends there. I got really good friends there, like Rini, Jen.
And they have their own studios.
Yeah, yes, they do.
And they're all makers and creatives in the community.
Yes.
And what kind of other things do they make there?
Like jewelry.
And let's see, ceramics. There's a company that makes lamps,
Yeah.
tie-dye. I mean, we can go on and on, but you are part of a community in
Yeah,
Warren.
yeah, yeah. I'm part of a community in Warren. I feel a lot of great artists and stuff.
Yeah, and it's just you're
Yeah, and yeah, it was like I found me.
yes, you found you found your place in the community where you
Yeah, I
belong.
also work. It's called Made in
And
Warren.
we'll get to that soon. Let's see if it's the next page. It's in here somewhere. Nope, not the next page, but let's talk about that.
It's called I Am Leah. That's my website.
That's your business
My
name
business.
and your website. You guys want to see Leah's website for a minute?
Sure.
All righty. We're going to click on that and we're going to look at Leah's website. Leah, how did you come up with the name?
Well, my uncle Mark found this thing and had an idea for me to do this, and I came up with the name I Am Leah.
That's right. And so the website is a way for you to show your art,
My art, my writing,
and what's new, what's happening, and
Yeah.
And Steve, how have you supported Leah through the website and social media over the years? Because you've done a lot with that.
Just trying to keep up with posts and keep the website organized and
The blog,
yeah,
helping Leah like put stuff.
Yeah.
We'll be honest, we've had it's been hard doing the website.
yeah.
We found it very tricky over the years.
Well, it's a process.
It's a process, but it's a good website. I mean, we
Yes,
love it.
it is.
But it's been a process. But
Yeah.
here's some poetry that Leah won awards for, and
Yeah.
you had a lot of news
Oh,
articles.
I also did teaching.
Yep, and we're gonna get to that. But before we do, let's look at your Instagram page. How's that?
Okay.
You didn't show the website.
Instagram.
Yeah.
So Leah is at I am Leah 226. If anybody wants to follow Leah and
Yeah.
find out what she's doing and what she thinks about things.
Yeah. I did a book launch.
Yeah, we're going to see that in a minute. Let's see. All right, we'll go out of here. And let me see if I can get back to, uh-oh, good. They're still there. I thought I could. Okay. Whew. I get nervous with these things. Okay, book launch. Perfect.
Yeah, that's my book launch.
Ooh,
Me and
Book
my
launch.
doctor.
what is this?
I was doing an autograph there.
So before you talk about the pictures, let's just say this. You published a book
I published a book
called
I Am Leah.
With Art and
Art and Writing.
and you had a launch
Yes.
at
Inkfish.
Inkfish, which is a bookstore in your
Yes.
community.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone came and bought
Yes.
your book, and including, talk about the pictures.
Yeah, that's my doctor. I was giving her my autograph.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me in the window and in my book. That's a poster.
Yeah. And who's down there?
And that's my friends from the A&A.
Yeah. Look at that.
Ooh,
That's me again over there. There's your window.
Yeah, that was actually in 2019, right before
Yeah.
the COVID thing.
Yeah.
So
COVID thing.
yeah, the COVID thing, right? Oh, boy. So just a little background too. So Leah has been doing art and writing poetry for years with Steve, and then in her studio. And eventually we knew that Leah wanted to publish a book.
Yeah.
So
Oh, and I'm also thinking of doing another one. It's called The Calling of Dreams.
yeah, Leah is ready to publish another book called The
Yes.
Calling of Dreams. But publishing is tricky. So
Yeah.
It can be. Yeah.
Leah took a class with that Sue Babin of the Rhode
Yeah.
Island Disabilities Council.
It's called a grant.
Yes.
We got a grant as well through the class. You had to take the class. It was a business class.
Yep.
Taught you like how to have your own business. And
Yes.
then we applied for a grant, and you had a mentor.
Yes. Her name was Deb.
Yep, another Deb.
Yep.
And
Yep.
we went to a place called Stillwater
Yeah, Stillwater, yeah.
Publishing.
In Pawtucket.
and they've moved now to
Yes.
Warwick, but it's
Yeah,
a
Warwick.
publishing company that has
Yeah.
they publish books, they have their own bookstore, they go to fairs, and they helped put Leah's book together and
Yeah.
publish it. So that was something that we accessed as well. So again, like finding out what's in the community,
Yep.
what resources are available,
Yeah.
making dreams come true is
Yes.
a
It's
process.
true.
A
A
process.
process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of steps involved, and you need a lot of support.
Yes.
But it took a long time too, but we made
Yeah.
it happen.
Yes, we did.
All right, so Leah published her book and she's still selling it. It's on Amazon
Yeah.
and it's on her website. It's in her store, which this is okay, we'll get to the
Oh
store
yeah.
after.
This is me and my mom there. We went to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were proud of it too.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's me and my another staff person,
Mhm.
Janice.
Yeah.
It was for raising the hope.
Restoring the hope.
Yeah, restoring the hope.
So keeping funding in place.
Funding, yeah.
So you went to the State House. You did
State House,
a few
yeah.
times to stand up for, use
Yes,
your voice.
stand up, use your voice.
Say, we want to keep our services. And
Yeah,
fund
we
it.
want it and freedom too.
Yeah, freedom, right.
Mhm.
I'm with you on that. And who
Yeah, that is me and David Cicilline. Voted for him.
we did vote for him. And
Yeah.
and this isn't to be political, but he
Yeah.
just is somebody who's been really he's not a representative anymore, but he was
Yeah.
very supportive of Leah and adults with disabilities, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
got to know each other a little bit, and he came to events and hung out, right?
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. And who really helped you learn how to use your voice and advocate for yourself?
Advocates in action.
Yeah, that was a big. And
Yeah.
Steve, you went to Advocates in Action, right?
Oh yeah, I loved it. Yeah, they taught me like how just having a voice, having opportunities and choices,
Oh, choices are so important.
and voting and knowing how to vote and how many.
So it's your life,
Yeah, it's your life.
your choice.
Yeah, it's about you.
Yeah. And you
Of
get to
course.
say,
Yeah.
I want to try this,
Yeah.
or I don't like that, or
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
this.
Yeah,
And Steve
I mean,
is here to support you and other resources, but in the end, it's your choice.
yes,
You want your life to be what you want it to be,
yes,
right? So you're part of your community making those choices. And Steve, you got a lot out of A&A too, didn't you? Like it wasn't just like you participated in everything and learned
Yeah.
from it.
Yeah, it also teaches you how to be a better support and how to, let Leah take the lead and
yeah,
just kind of support what Leah wants to do. And also keep an eye out for new things that Leah might want to try.
Yeah.
And just let Leah take the lead and be encouraging and
help her access.
help access to where she wants to go.
yeah.
And it's a great program.
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah.
All right. Now the next page. Ooh.
Oh yeah, this is a good one here. I was on TV
Yeah, you
for Meeting Street. Or it was a school, right?
they were doing a fundraiser.
Yeah, a fundraiser.
And you donated
I donated my book and stuff. Yeah.
and part of an auction, and they made a film about you.
Yes, they did. I also supported that.
If we have time at the end, we can show you the film, but if not, you can later go on her website and see it. They made a film about Leah and her life.
Yes.
It's like a 5-minute film. It's really cool.
Yeah, that was me presenting a poem over there.
Yeah, that
That was the collaborative.
the collaborative. And what's a collaborative?
It's an art store.
It's an art gallery
Yeah.
community
Yes.
or organization in our community.
Yeah, you can go there. Yeah, there's another part of it too.
Yeah. So they're all about the arts and presentation and
Yeah.
all the arts, and they support artists in the community.
Yeah, and that's
And-
me and Janine.
That's Martha. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right there.
You're right. My wrong. Okay, yes, you and Janine.
Me and Janine.
Yeah, you and Janine.
Represented a poem at the BSA.
Yeah, at the for the 25th anniversary.
Anniversary.
That's at the Pawtucket Town Hall.
Yeah, that was her funeral.
Well, it
Represented
was a
poem.
memorial, that's
Yeah.
right. And they asked you to write a poem and
Yes,
present
I
it
did.
at RISD, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a great advocate in our community.
Yeah.
A really, and you wrote, didn't your poem, wasn't it called Warrior?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like she really was a warrior, and that was her destiny.
Yeah, she fought for rights for
Yes, she
all of
did.
us. And she had her own disability.
Yeah.
She had, I believe she had polio as a
Yeah.
child, and one of her legs, she couldn't walk on it, so she used crutches. So she had a special understanding of that. Ah, what's this?
This is my store. It's called Me and Warren. I sell my art there.
Yes. So you're an artist as part of a co-op in Warren.
Yes. I also, I'm a part owner of the store.
Yes, you had to apply
Yes.
to get in, and
Yeah, those are the people.
those are the other artists in the store.
That's Rainy. That's Jen.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, I forgot her name.
me too.
Don't worry about it. You don't have to tell all their names. But
Yeah.
actually, Laurel, a
Yeah,
lot of
Laurel.
people that have now become your colleagues and friends.
Yes.
And you had to be juried. You had to do
Yes.
this kind of intense application process.
Yeah.
You have to work at the store. You have to be part of a committee that, you
Yeah.
are full member.
am really part of the store. Like I'm the display.
You do the displays with the display committee.
Yeah.
And Steve, do you support Leah at Maiden Warren?
Yeah, I'll go in and Leah will talk to everyone who comes in, and I just help with ringing stuff up and wrapping up stuff people buy, and it's a really nice shop.
Yeah, it's been really great. You worked at CVS for a long time.
Yeah.
And you learned a lot about
Yeah.
working with the public.
Yeah.
But after a while you felt like
I just felt like it wasn't really me anymore, so I just felt like doing this.
yeah, this is more about like CVS was a great learning
Yeah.
environment.
I don't mind. I did that when I was still in high school.
Yeah. And then a little
Yeah, and a little after. I think like 10 years.
Yeah, you did. You did it for a long time and you learned a lot.
After a while, I just felt like doing something else.
Yeah, this is really your
Yeah,
profession.
this is me right here. Me, my passion.
And I just want to say, Leah, that when you first started working there, if you don't mind me saying, you were a little shy, a
Yeah.
little quiet. Now people come in and you talk to everybody, you
Yeah.
talk about your art. So again, trying something new
Yeah.
can be a little overwhelming at first and maybe
Yeah.
even a little scary, but
But I did it.
you did it and it felt good to do
Yes,
it.
it did.
Just like theater.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, when you started theater, that was a little scary, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, but when I went up there, it was great.
Yeah. So practicing it,
Yeah.
you get less nervous, you get better at it, more
Yeah.
confident. So it's good to try things.
Yes, it is.
And then you find out that you're good at it.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking
Oh,
of trying things, what's this?
this is my family cemetery.
You're
A lot
still,
of history
you're
here.
not showing the slideshow.
What's that?
You're not showing the slideshow anymore.
Really?
Yeah, it stopped.
We can see it.
Who can anyone see it?
Then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe it's just you, Keith. So does everybody else see the slide?
Yes.
Oh, Keith, I don't know what's
Maybe
going
you maybe you accidentally moved your screen. I don't know.
I don't know, Keith. See if you can ask Deb. Because if everybody else
I'll watch out for it.
Okay, sorry about that, Keith. I'd help you, but I can barely figure this stuff out myself.
Yeah, I did some grade rubbings.
So that was like a
With
hobby,
pencils, a hobby, yeah.
and learning about your family history is very important to you.
Yeah, yeah. Hezekiah Butterworth. He was a famous writer, poem, and that's where I got her from.
Yeah, Hezekiah Butterworth is your great 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 uncle.
Yeah,
You can see that he was born December 22nd, 1839. He wrote
yeah.
the Zigzag Journeys, which were
Yes.
published all over the world.
Oh, yeah.
And you found out that you have a lot of history in
Yeah.
your community here.
Yeah, yeah.
That her ancestors, or she's a descendant of the people that came over on the Mayflower, that
Yeah, yeah.
actually the people that like owned this whole area. We didn't know this, but we found out and we started going to,
Yeah, there's me and my dad. We both are.
yeah, it's on her dad's side.
Yeah.
And we started going to all the cemeteries and looking for your relatives,
Yeah.
your history. We found out, we learned a lot, and you enjoyed rubbing the graves. And
Yes, I did. I
so
loved it.
it's like a hobby, and again, it's trying something different.
Yeah, something new, really cool. Yeah.
Learning about who you are,
Yeah.
your history. I mean, you found out that you have a lot of writers in your history, so
Yeah.
that was cool too. All right, and oh, what's this about?
Oh, going out with friends.
Going out with friends is important,
Yes, it is.
and the support of your family.
Yeah, that's my show at the studio.
Yeah, you had a yeah, and then the middle one is with Tyler, the paint and wine.
Yeah, yeah.
What else is in these pictures?
That's my niece, Sammy.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's another niece that I'm holding, Gia.
I just love that picture so much, Leah. The way you're so carefully and gently holding.
Yeah, yeah, I'm really careful.
You're such a good family member, and
Yeah,
the picture on the left with your whole family. I mean, they all always come out.
yeah,
to
me
see
and my
you.
sister.
Yeah, and your sister on top. That's right. Yeah. And Steve, you've supported Leah through all her events, everything. And
Yeah,
there's been many, and the studio opening where the family all came, you were very involved in that. That was a lot of work for us, wasn't it?
yeah.
How did you help Leah with that?
I think I helped setting up,
Uh,
and yeah, helped setting up the
Get
studio.
close to the mic again,
Sorry.
Steve.
I just helped setting up the studio and getting everything organized and ready, and
Keeping time, like,
yeah.
and we call him Tall Steve because he can reach up high and hang things for us.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and bring it back.
All right, go ahead. Leah's gonna get a drink because she's coughing. And I'll just go to the next slide and keep going, Leah. But she'll be right back. Got a lot of allergies. Oh, I know she's gonna want to talk about this one. All right. This is Leah actually got asked during COVID to teach at the local middle school and high school. And she did. She taught art. The students who had disabilities were not able to safely go in the community because they were so high risk. And there was a period where we were teaching online, but Steve and I supported Leah in her teaching, but she was a teacher and she got paid
Yeah.
as a teacher. You want to talk about it, Leigh? Did you have a sip of water yet?
Yeah.
All right. You have a sip and then you can talk a bit. And you can see on the left, she's teaching at the Mount Hope High School. In the middle, she's teaching Looking Upwards is an agency that has a studio called Sunlight Studios. And Leah this year taught a class called Sketchbooking with Leah.
Mhm.
And Steve, you supported Leah through that as well. Yeah, after you take a sip, you might want to talk about that a little bit. Did that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did teaching with sketchbooks. We did like a collage and painting and what's in her.
Well, I feel like when you teach, you were really encouraging
Yeah.
your students to find their own style.
Yes.
We give them a lot of ideas and skills, but then we let them really do their own thing, right?
Yes.
So you teach with your own style. I like the way you walk around and really look at their art and let
Yeah,
them know?
yeah, because I think, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, you let them know, right? That you
Yeah.
support them. And
Yeah, I do.
yeah, I love the picture on the left where you're like really, teaching and
Yeah.
everybody's listening to you and stuff.
Yeah.
You can see everybody had a mask on. Oh, those days, remember? All right. Should we go on to the next one?
Yeah.
All right. Art shows
Oh yeah, that's the collaborative. I was a feature artist.
at the collaborative.
Yeah.
Yes, you were. And that was the whole month of November last year.
Yes.
And that again is a gallery in your community.
Yeah.
And they asked you if you would consider being
featured. Yeah.
boy, that turned out to be a lot of work, didn't it?
Oh yeah, and yeah, it was a lot of fun too. Yeah.
Yeah, talk about that. That was a big night.
Yeah. I sold some of my stuff too.
You sold some stuff. There was a lot of people that came
Yeah.
to the opening show.
Oh yeah, a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah, it was packed. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you've been selling artwork at Maiden Warren, at shows, online,
Yeah.
working hard.
Yep.
So Steve, what kinds of things did you do to get her ready for that? That took us almost a year to get ready for that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, with the art show, we had to first find out how much space we were gonna have, how many pieces we could pick. And then we went through and Leah picked out the pieces that she wanted to show and also have poetry ready with each piece.
Yeah,
So,
each piece came with its own poem.
yeah, so it takes a lot of planning.
Sure
And
does.
but once it's all done, it's really good. It feels good to
Yeah.
have it together. But,
Oh yeah, like it's sort of like theater too. It's like, before the show, you're working so hard and some days you feel like, oh my God, are we ever going to get this together? And it's just like doing theater. And then the night of it, nobody sees all the background crazy stuff
Yeah.
that we
yeah.
all went through to put it together. All they see is this beautiful piece of art or
Yep.
yeah, it's really amazing, but hard work and persistence.
Yes.
And
yes.
sometimes, we do art, or I'm just saying anybody,
Yeah.
you write a book or you do a piece of art and maybe it wasn't as popular or
Yeah.
it didn't come out the way you wanted, but
Yeah, that one over there, I did small arts.
the picture on the bottom
Yeah.
right hand is a different show
Yes.
because you've done a lot of shows
Yes.
in different places and some were really successful and we had lots of people.
Yeah.
And then like we had art nights where hardly anybody came, right?
Yeah.
We did a lot of work and we weren't too happy about that, but we didn't give up.
No.
Isn't that like really important that we don't give up?
Yeah, it is really, really important. Don't give up.
Don't give up on your dream, right?
No.
Keep trying. Let's see. Hold on. Here we go. Oh,
Oh yeah. Healthy lifestyle. I cook different things. Yeah, like I make a steak stir fry or a chicken stir fry. I also make nachos. I also make lasagna.
you like to try a lot of different foods, right?
Yes, I do.
And you have
Fish.
a nutritionist that you talk to,
Amber, yeah.
and that she's helped you explore different foods.
Yes.
And on the right,
I'm doing the bike. I do it I do that every day.
you get a lot of exercise. You walk outside.
Yeah, I play basketball too.
Mm-hmm. Steve and you go together, and then
Yeah, that was a restaurant that me and her went to.
and
It was
Steve
our
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of our favorites.
Yeah, and you are better at chopsticks than I am by far,
Mm.
trying out different things.
Yes,
And
I love doing different things.
yeah,
and-
look at that salad.
yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, and healthy.
Yeah.
Cucumbers and carrots. Remember that salad? Oh, it was so
Oh
good.
yeah, it was so good.
Yep. So taking care of your body and
Yeah.
your mental health
Yeah.
is very important.
Yes, it is.
Being your best self, right?
Yes.
And okay, so we're at the end here, and Leah, you can talk with me about this, but I'll read it. So, all these things that Leah has accomplished and done in her life, we had to make sure that she had the supports and the resources
Yeah.
around her. So I just put a list of them, and
Okay.
we can talk a little bit about it, but after that, we'd like to welcome you guys to ask questions. So we'll
We
just
already
start.
got a hand up. Heidi?
Oh, should I start the questions now? Do you want me to do that?
If that's the end, you can do it.
How about is it okay if I just read these off really quick and then
Yeah,
and then we'll go to
then
questions?
question.
Okay.
Yep.
So, community resources, self-directed supports, we use options, and Steve is a part of that. He comes to us through directed supports, and Leah and I hire people like Steve, and Steve's been with us for like, oh my gosh, 12 years or something. We love Steve. Looking Upwards has a lot of great activities now that
Yeah.
people that want to try different things can access. Like they have great art studios, and
Yes, they do.
VSA we talked about. I don't know if they're still working after Janine, so I'm not sure. We know about Advocates in Action. I mean, that
Yeah.
highly recommend anybody to take that.
Or going to the library.
Yeah, the library is a great resource.
Yeah, I love going there, walking around, looking at books.
Yeah, we love that. The colleges using disability services.
Yeah.
Rhode Island Developmental Disabilities Council is where you took your business class, I think.
Yes.
Behavioral healthcare, developmental disabilities in hospitals is where you get funding,
Yeah.
and they help you do your plan. Sherlock Center, fantastic resource. The Collaborative is a community resource. Nutrition counseling is something you've accessed.
Yeah.
ORS is something you used in the past to help you figure out like where your career wanted to go. Lit Arts Rhode Island is a place that you can get a lot of support for your writing, and there's RIPEN. I don't want to spend too much time on that, so we can answer questions, and I'm going to try to figure out how to go back to you guys. All right.
Yep, you did it.
You go ahead and tell us who to answer.
It was Heidi first.
All right, Heidi.
Hi, Leah. My name is Heidi. It's absolutely wonderful to hear your story.
Thank you.
And I just want to say to you that, kudos for not just staying in that disability box.
Yeah.
Kudos for doing things in the community that are just you being you, and teaching children that if you're capable of something, they're capable of something too. And that is just so, so powerful. And I just want to suggest, I know you mentioned the library.
Oh, yeah, I did.
There are a lot of adult classes at the library.
Oh.
And I've taken some adult classes. I live in Providence, but I do a lot at the Warwick Library.
Oh, cool.
And sometimes the Warwick Library has classes on things like vision boarding or scrapbooking. And that's some stuff that you might want to look into. Like, do some research maybe if you want to do vision boarding, because it's very artistic, but it will help you learn, like, where are you at? What are some new goals you want to try? And what's your vision for the new goals? So keep thinking about that, but you're a wonderful person, and I just wanted to say I have a lot of respect for you.
Thank you.
That's great. How about Bobby? Do you have a question?
Yes, I do actually. Actually, this question is for Leah. When it comes to writing your poetry, what is your favorite inspiration for poetry?
Oh,
like what's your favorite poets, if you will?
Favorite poets? That's a good question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of.
Well, I enjoy Kandinsky.
Kandinsky is a painter, yes.
Right.
I
was talking about poets. Poetry.
Yeah.
I'm thinking local.
Yeah, local poetry.
Community. But in terms of what's a poet?
Because me personally, my favorite poet is Robert Frost.
Like Mary Oliver.
Oh, Mary Oliver, yeah.
Walt Whitman is your favorite.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah.
You have his book.
Yeah.
I would say he's the one that you really,
Yeah.
because of Pop.
Yeah, my grandfather, he had a book. He used to read to me a lot, and I loved it. I
The
kept
Walt
it.
Whitman, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you. That's a good.
Yeah, thank you.
And you're
Hey, no
painting.
problem.
Yeah.
Like Steve said, you're painting. Her process is to do a painting, and then the painting inspires the poem.
Yes.
Yep.
Precisely.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Should we go
You're
on?
welcome.
Laura, do you have a question?
I have a comment first, but I also have a few questions if that's okay.
Sure.
First of all, I want to say you're such a role model to me as an artist myself. You're doing so much amazing work in the community and
Yeah.
really successful. I hope one day I'll be able to have my own show or a book or something. But that's really cool that you're making it all happen and putting yourself out there. It's really hard. And my questions are, well, the first one I guess is how often do you work on like a painting? Do you do something every day?
Yeah. I have my own studio, is that Carter Mills.
Nice.
Yeah, and I do my painting there.
So you go to the studio
Yeah.
every day?
Not always,
Not
right?
always, but sometimes.
You know, I think
Yeah.
some of it depends on the weather. Like if it's really nice, I know you want to be
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
And you know, you have spurts of wanting to do a lot,
Yeah.
like any artist, and then there's
Yeah.
periods where, like after the show, I think you kind of felt like taking a break
Yeah.
because you know it was like really doing it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it
Yeah,
varies.
and I related what you said where like sometimes things don't always come out the way you hope they will, but to
Yeah.
keep practicing, that's good. The other question is what's next for you?
The book.
The book.
That's what
Yeah, I'm doing the book, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, really putting that book together and getting that published and keeping doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
We talked about taking more classes,
Yeah.
teaching more classes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Keeping going. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, she's busy all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe you could even teach at a library class. That could be
It's a really
Yeah,
cool
that'd be
idea.
cool,
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I can't see everybody, Keith. Are there other people that want to ask a question?
Not that I see.
I also see chat.
Video.
Look at that.
Yeah, there's some I saw before, but they're always too small for me to read.
Yeah, I don't see I see some comments like I'm really impressed with your website, Leah. Congratulations. That's nice.
I sent that.
Oh, thank you. That's a nice
You're
comment,
welcome.
right?
Yeah, cool.
We do have a few minutes. Would anybody like to see the film that Meeting Street did? Let me see if I can.
Yeah, you can do that.
All right, let's do that.
Cool. You gonna see that?
I just gotta figure out how to go back to it. Let's see. I have to go back to the website. No.
Just make sure you enable the sound to be shared. It can be a little tricky.
Yeah, just let us know like if you don't hear it. I tried it the other day and it worked. I tried it with Michelle White and she said it sounded good. So whoops. I'm gonna go right through here to get to it. Let's see. I don't know if I can make it now it's on. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, here we go.
I don't know if I can make it bigger, but maybe if I go like this and then can you guys hear it?
Yeah, there we go.
You're not sharing your screen though.
Oh no. Wait a minute.
Hear it or see
Hold
it.
on. Okay, I gotta go back to share the screen. Hold on. To here. No. There. All right. Sorry, guys. Let's let's see. How do I? Where's down here? Okay. And then share. Okay. All right. Can you see my screen now? The screen?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to try this again. And can you see it?
Yep.
Okay.
My world, my life, my voice. I'm different and different is good.
Leah was born 32 years ago, and there wasn't a lot of really good positive information out there. But I called Meeting Street like right away, right when she like within a couple weeks after her birth. They did evaluate Leah at 5 weeks old. So calling and being very proactive was really helpful. Meeting Street really was the beginning of all that. I think early intervention and the beginning years of any child are the most important years in development. And it's so important to have early intervention as we did for Meeting Street. This is the binder that Meeting Street provided for us. When we would go there, they would do certain activities with her and they would document everything so that I could go back and continue to work on the skill during the week. The language was amazing. I mean, we just talked to her all the time as we, learned from the speech therapist in Meeting Street School, and her language just developed, her vocabulary, her understanding of communication with other people and engaging. Leah is an artist and a writer. She's always been her whole life interested in art and words. She was very small. She said that her dream was to grow up and be a published writer. So this is her first book, and I'm really, really excited. She's worked so hard on it.
I like doing art. Art just makes me feel good and proud and just who I am as an artist.
In addition to being a great visual artist and taking classes with us at the RISD Museum, Leah is also a really proficient poet. She's won the Allen Ginsberg Poetry Competition several times and now serves VSA Arts Rhode Island as its poet laureate.
I do it spontaneously. It just comes out of me, like I have like so many letters in my head. It just comes out.
That is that. Okay. What'd you guys think?
I really like it.
Yeah, it was good.
Thank
It's actually
you.
very inspiring too.
Thank you. Do you have any questions about supports or resources for any of us or Steve? Oh, Denise has a question. Go ahead, Denise.
I do have a question, but it doesn't, I guess it pertains to supports because I was in awe of all of Leah's accomplishments and everything that she's done. And I was trying to figure out how to word my question before I asked it. So I'm gonna try my best, but all the things she's done, I'm assuming she had to face a lot of obstacles and challenges to get there through each thing she's accomplished. And I was just wondering how she was able to do that.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Leah, do you want to start? And you could talk about some of the obstacles and difficulties, and I think one of the things, Leah, that you felt were really hard is the way people see you.
Yeah,
And
I didn't like
think of
that.
Yeah, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I don't like that. The way people look at me, it's just, yeah, I just don't like that.
And what was it about the way that they looked at you or talked to you that
Yeah, they thought like me being,
different?
different. Yeah,
People treated you like a child
yeah,
a lot.
and I didn't like that.
Sometimes they wouldn't talk directly to you,
Right.
or
Or is this them looking at me?
yeah, it's been hard, Leah. In
Yeah.
fact, I think a lot of your poetry, that's what that's about,
Yeah,
is the way people have looked at you and thought about you, and when they don't really know you.
yeah,
And you've written a lot about being an outsider,
yeah,
and that's kind of and the thing I admire the most about you, Leah, is that it didn't change who you were.
no.
You didn't. Leah is Leah, and she's proud of who she is.
Yes, I am.
And no matter how other people view her or
Yeah.
think of her, she knows inside who she is.
Yes, I am.
And no one's going to change that. And
No.
you've gotten a lot better, I think, about it's been hard for you to sort of let people know in sort
Yeah.
of a way that we're all comfortable with, that
Yeah.
that's not okay. So honestly, like if people talk to Leah like she's a child, she gives them a look like, honest to God, I think if I didn't know Leah and I talked to her like that and she looked at me, I'd be embarrassed. I'd know by the look she gives me that I was a fool. Because it's a look that says,
Or
are you crazy? Like,
yeah, yeah. Sometimes we'll say something about it.
So that's some of the challenges I think Leah
Yeah,
has faced a lot. The expectations.
yeah,
And yeah, it's been, oh, we could tell stories over the years of
yeah,
people's expectations being hurtful, but I think we just plowed through them.
yeah.
Leah did.
Yeah,
Leah
I
led the
did.
way. Leah taught me. Like,
Yeah, I
who
taught
she
her.
is. Yeah. Is there any other kinds of challenges you were thinking of, or is
I was just wondering from like her own personal experience because I know it's different for all of us. So I just wanted a little bit of that insight from her because her accomplishments went from small to big to huge, and I was just wondering how she navigated that.
I think it's
Yeah.
important that
Yeah,
one thing leads to another, and each thing gives you a little bit more confidence.
yeah,
So when you try a new thing, you get involved, you got more confident with that, you find out about more opportunities through that first thing. And then you see more things open up before you, and you're growing, you're getting more confident along the way to try new things. So you kind of get on a path, I think.
And also, I think the more you try and do, the more exposure you
Yeah.
have to your community, and more importantly, them to you,
yeah,
to Leah. I mean, Leah Keith is well known in her community.
Yeah.
She's famous, really.
Yeah.
And as an artist, not as someone with a disability, but as an artist, an accomplished artist.
and a person too.
And a person, and someone that's well known and well
Yeah.
liked, and you know what, it didn't start out that way.
Yeah,
No, it did not. And Leah just kept being Leah, and
yeah,
then you could say I might have been a little warrior type.
yeah.
Sometimes you might have wanted me to shut up a little, but I speak up too. Like
Yeah, she does.
yeah, I'm what do you call that? Like a mama bear? I don't know, something like that.
Oh, helicopter.
Helicopter, smother mother, that's what it is. I've been taught by Leah in the past few years to back down a little. I'm really trying.
Oh, you're fine.
Thank you. But because Leah can do it for herself. She doesn't need me to do that for her. But and she's teaching me that too.
Yeah,
It's again expectations, right?
yeah,
The more the less expectations we have in terms of, we try not to put limits or expectations. What we
No.
try to do is just let you be you and
yeah,
find your way, and
Yeah.
with Steve's support and
yeah.
me not smothering. Does that help at all with the question? It's a great question.
Yes, yes, it does.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Jane. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Oh, it's getting time to
Almost
go, huh?
time to go.
Yeah.
That's why it came up.
Thank you guys so much for
Yeah.
joining.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great job.
Yay, Leah. Yay, Leah.
Okay.
All right. See you later. Bye,
Yeah.
everyone.
Bethany, Crystal, and Nick are gonna be presenting this, but I guess they're gonna, assuming they're probably trying to get in right now.
There'd be a lot.
Hello. We're just waiting for Bethany, Nick, and Crystal to come in because they're gonna be presenting.
Hey everyone, can you guys see us?
Yes.
We're kind of tiny, I know. Sorry. Sorry, we're trying to.
We can hear you really well, so that's good.
Can you hear us good?
Yes.
All right. Sweet.
Yep, share to see the green.
Yeah, right there.
There you go. Fine. That's good. No, it is what it is. What are you gonna do?
Good to have you, Bethany. Can everybody see the screen now?
Yes.
All
Very
right.
good.
Great. So we'll give it a couple minutes for more folks to join. And you, hopefully you are picked the right breakout, but we are doing options for support with decision making.
Yeah.
So we're just going to talk about different options and people that can support you with decision making. Yeah, so let's give it a couple minutes and then we'll.
There is everyone. Everyone's there.
All right. By the way, Bethany, congratulations on winning the raffle. I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very
You're welcome.
much. That was a surprise.
Thanks for letting us know. Yeah, we were kind of talking and we missed what they said. So we were prepping for our presentation. So only a minute. Okay. I think we're supposed to give it a few more minutes to see people join, but I think for the most part.
One's here.
A couple new people. Oh.
Anna said twice
Yeah,
for some
she
reason.
is. I don't know. We'll take it. I'll take it. And it's my voice. Do you want more music? We'll use it quick. Go. We got one.
Yeah. Down the hall on the left.
Yep, it's gonna be right after the desk.
Yeah, no, let's give it 2 more minutes and then we'll
Just
we'll
gonna
get rolling.
I'm gonna quickly grab my charger so we don't lose this recording.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Sounds
perfect.
good.
It's
Yeah, we're
about
trying to.
halfway down, so be right back.
We
Yeah.
appreciate it. Yeah,
Thank
they
you.
had asked us to give it a little time to let people join, so that's what we're trying to do. So we apologize that we're not starting yet. We will be starting shortly.
You go to participants. What?
Here it is.
Okay,
Great.
No problem.
Twice.
Congrats, Taylor.
Yeah. Okay.
Quick question for Keith. When someone
Yep.
enters the waiting room, who admits them?
Uh,
Is that, by it says someone entered the waiting room.
Oh, I don't see that.
And,
So one of you guys
Wow.
needs to have no omission.
Yeah, it just because we're
I just let it
co-hosts.
play out. Hopefully, I have,
Yeah.
yeah. Because the waiting room is outside of this, so it probably just means someone's in that world and wants to go somewhere. Somewhere in the world.
Okay.
Just ask questions.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Got it.
Let's
Just giving it one more minute and then we're gonna start. I think.
Yeah, everybody's in their rooms.
Everybody's
So,
in the room, Steve. All right,
yeah.
so if you think we're good to start, we'll get started. That sounds fine. I'll let Nick just sit back down. Perfect. All right, so we'll get beginning. So our agenda. So we're going to start with introductions. We're going to talk a little bit about self-determination, and then we're going to talk about support with decision-making, the whole reason why you're here, and then go over some resources. So first, I just want to introduce the Paul B. Sherlock Center on Disabilities. So we are Rhode Island's University Center of Excellence on Developmental Disabilities, or as we like to use acronyms, it's a UCED. Our mission is to promote membership for all in school, work, and community. And we do a lot of research, we provide education, we do trainings, and we provide like resources and connect families and individuals to services and to whatever resources that they need. That is our new logo, the little lighthouse. So introduction. So we just thought, since it's not a ton of us, if you could share what is your connection to the disability community, is it personal or professional? And you can throw it in the chat. And maybe like, why did you choose this presentation? If you want to raise your hand and come off chat and just tell us, you can do that. We'd love to hear from you guys. And I can start with myself to, start the icebreaker. So my name is Crystal Cerullo. I'm an individual and family support specialist at the Sherlock Center, but I actually started out as a direct support professional or a DSP in the field, working one-on-one with individuals. And I did that for a long time. And then I worked at various agencies after that until I ended up here at the Sherlock Center. And I'm going on just about 4 years this year being here. And I also have a young son, 4 years old, Angelo. He was actually in some of the pictures that we had in that in the song. I think he was looking watermelon, so to give you reference on who it was. He's 4 years old and he has Down syndrome. So that's just why this work just means more to me than it even did before professionally. So I have a personal and a professional tie now. And I think we did get some people in the chat. We have personal and professional. Awesome. And she said, I'm lucky to be Nick's mom and she works at Ripen. Awesome. Thank you guys. Bethany, do you want to give your introduction of who you are and what brings you here?
So my name is Bethany Hogan. Like Crystal, I work here at the Sherlock Center. And in my previous life before children, I used to be an English teacher, high school and middle school. And I am the mom of 2 sons, both of whom have a variety of disabilities, including intellectual disabilities. So I also have a professional and personal tie to this world. And my boys are, what brought me to this work.
All right. So Nick, I know you're going to talk more later, but do you want to just say who you are so people know?
Yes, my name is Nick Ventura. I work at Roger Williams University in Bristol, Rhode Island. Been there for almost 5 years now.
Awesome. All right, cool. And so Nick will share a little more later too, when he talks. So I don't see any more in the chat, so we can go on if no one else.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Alex.
Me?
Yes.
Go ahead.
My name is Alex Hubbard. I'm recording this session. I've been getting services since 2017 or so, and I have interest in trying to get a job in this field one day.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Thank you for joining us. And we did
You're
get
welcome.
one
Glad to
more
be here.
in the chat. Tammy said that she's an independent facilitator and a mom of a son with autism, and she's also known Nick since he was 3 years old.
Yeah.
He did share that as well. And then Michael did share that he has a connection with his friends from the OC and RHD. And he joined it because he thinks that this is important. So thank you. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And it's personal from Michael. So yes, thank you guys. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Taylor.
Hi, I'm Taylor. I'm an individual and family support specialist at the Sherlock Center, and today during the presentation, I'm going to be like facilitating. So if you have any questions or you want to throw something in the chat, I'll be keeping an eye on it so that we can ask Bethany, Crystal, and Nick your questions. So I'm excited to be here.
Thank you, Taylor.
Thanks, Taylor.
Anybody else want to do a brief introduction or just say why you chose this? All right. Okay, I think we're done.
Okay. So when we talk about decision making, we like to start with the concept of self-determination. And the core principles of self-determination are autonomy, self-advocacy, inclusion, and support systems. So just a really brief kind of overview of those 4 kind of pillars. Autonomy is the ability to make decisions about your own life, such as where you want to live, who you want to be friends with, and what kind of career you'd like to choose. Self-advocacy, of course, people have the right to express their own needs, wants, and choices. Inclusion ensures that people with IDD can participate in community life on equal footing, promoting social and community involvement. And finally, support systems, where we recognize that some individuals might need different levels of support than other individuals in exercising their self-determination. So when we talk about self-determination as a concept, it's a combination of abilities and attitudes developed over a period of time that lead people to have control over their own lives. It's having a say in important decisions, and it requires the teaching of skills so that individuals can practice them in natural environments. And we start that really young, right? When children are babies, we start with decision-making and choices and, do you want, what do you want for a snack? Do you want to wear the blue shirt or the red shirt, right? Right from when they're very, very little, we start that decision-making process.
Very generic as well.
Yeah, very true. And yeah, I do. Even with my son, he's mainly nonverbal, but he can point and he can make gestures. So anytime we can kind of give him options to be able to make choices and learn how to make choices, I think it's important, as Bethany said, to start really young with trying to enrich those skills.
Right, because we know that if a child never has any control over choices and what goes on in his daily life, the day that he turns 18, it's not going to magically be a skill that he has, right? So we need to start fostering that when they're very little. So why is it important? We know that individuals with IDD have more control over their lives and they experience greater satisfaction, independence, and well-being. And we also know that it's empowering. It empowers individuals to be active participants in their own lives rather than someone making all of their decisions for them. Want to add to that?
And the only thing I was going to say, because we did use an acronym during that.
Oh, we did?
The ID. So
oh, sorry,
it's
yes.
Intellectual disability. And if we ever say DD, it means developmental disability. So just wanted to make sure that we didn't use acronyms and not say what they are. So if we do that and you don't know a word that we said, or we used an acronym and we didn't say what it was, please raise your hand or put it in the chat. We will definitely go back and say what it is.
Yes, please don't let me use acronyms. I'm awful. Sorry. And so these are the 4 skills of self-determination: choice making, decision making, problem solving, and goal setting. And as we kind of already touched on, these are skills that need to be taught, right? We are not born with the capacity to do these things. So they're skills that we start when they're very, very little. As Crystal said, you know, her son is able to tell her what he wants, you know, in terms of choices, and he's able to communicate that in his own way. I know that when my sons were little, we used a lot of gestures, and then as they got older, we used some sign language. But even from the time that they were babies, you know, they either smiled or cried. They let me know exactly, you know, what made them happy and what did not make them happy. And that goes right along with choice making and decision making. Problem solving is another one, you know, just again, right from the time that they're babies and they're taking those blocks and they're fitting them into the right holes, the right shaped holes in that toy. That's problem solving skills. And so teaching people to intentionally use these types of skills is really key in ensuring that as we get older, that we're able to make bigger and more complex decisions.
Yes. And it's not true.
Oh,
So I don't know if it's gonna work.
oh, our video is not working. Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Make
Ellie
it full
has a
screen.
question.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
What do you do if you have somebody who does not speak and cannot problem solve with
That's okay.
without communicating? Yeah, so I think as we're trying to talk about, so I think everyone has some way that they can communicate choices or make decisions, and maybe sometimes that's not done verbally. So even if it's done you know, with gestures, or it's done with, you know, some people you know, will scream if they're unhappy, or there's some type of behavior that they'll have when you know that they don't like something, or they'll be smiling when they do. And there's also argumentative alternative communication devices, or AAC. So my son does have a tablet that he uses to help with speaking as well. There's also sign language. So I think there's ways to make sure people have access to be able to communicate that. So then I think the first key is to be able to make those choices, and then you can kind of move up to building the skills of problem solving, because you have to first be able to make choices and make decisions and have a way to be able to facilitate that communication, whether it's verbally or non-verbally. And then you can kind of build up to the skills of trying to learn to do problem solving and the goal setting. But yes, I think that can be a challenge, and I think it's all skills that we have to learn. And then there's a lot of examples of how you can help teach those skills. So we could always, if you ever want to reach out to us, our contact's going to be on the last slide. We could definitely like talk more and maybe provide some resources on how to maybe build some of those skills, if that would be helpful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sure. Any other questions before we show the video? It's a short video, it's only a few minutes, but we just feel like it kind of gets us into the next topic. Okay.
Alexander has a question.
Oh, go ahead, Alex.
Thank you very much. Even as an adult, I struggle with confidence and decision making. Sort of like my issue is I always want people to tell me what to do, and that's not really how life works. So my question, I guess, is if you haven't really quite reached adulthood properly in terms of practice making your own decisions, is there anything, if anything, adults can do to sort of soothe that or better it or get a little more practice, even if they've, you know, because it's hard once they've grown up, but is there ways to?
Yeah, definitely. I think we're always, no matter what age we are, we're always still learning. And I think that when we start getting into the next topic of supportive decision making, that's a really great resource, because now you can pick people that can kind of support you and help you in ways that you need to be able to make decisions. So we're going to go into depth of a lot more into that topic, but I do think that that might be a way that, you know, like any adult, like myself, if I make a decision, any big decision, like I'm going to buy a house or I'm going to get a car, I don't just go and do it. I talk to other people and I get advice. They help me research. I go and test drive them. So there's all these different things we do. And so we all get support and we get help. And so I think no matter where you are and what stage you are with that, that's where supported decision making, especially because it is for adults, really comes in handy, because you could name specific people to help you with different areas of your life that you need help. And we'll go, like I said, more in detail of like what that looks like, who they can be and what they can support you with. But I think that's why that's really helps adults that maybe don't have all those decision-making skills really developed yet, or really haven't had opportunities to make a lot of decisions or have choices. That's where it can still be really handy to help as an adult.
And Alex, it's a great question. I'm glad that you asked it. And Crystal's going to get into this in a few minutes, but I think that the most important, as a parent of two sons, one of whom is an adult now, I think that the most important thing that the adults can do for children to start teaching them these decision-making skills and these choice-making skills, as you mentioned, is to assume out of the gate that they can make those decisions. And again, Crystal's going to talk about this in a little bit, but I know that a lot of parents assume the opposite. They assume that their child cannot make a decision on their own. So they just automatically make it for them instead of giving them an opportunity to do it themselves. And I think parents are afraid that, their kids will fail, or that they're going to be hurt in some way. Their feelings are going to get hurt, or they're going to be embarrassed. And of course, as parents, we never, ever want our kids to feel anything except joy and happiness. But having all of those emotions, it's part of being a human being, right? And making the wrong decision sometimes is part of being a human being. And we all need to have the opportunity to fail sometimes.
And I think it's what you do after you fail. So like the learning and having the conversations about, okay, so you chose to do this, it went this way, you're not happy about it. What could have we done differently? What can we learn about this, learn from it? So then now we can apply that to the next time something that happens like that, you could make a different decision or a different choice. Like they're all teachable moments. We're all learning from our choices every single day that we make. So I think that's, if you have someone that can help you learn from that and like talk things out, it's helpful.
Thank you so much. Those are all excellent points. Very logical. It's
You're welcome.
Gets the gears turning.
Thanks for the question, Alex.
Yes,
You're very welcome.
Appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna try to.
It says it's on it. That full screen is unavailable. Do you want to just tell them what this is about?
Okay, so this video, it's a very short video and it's not gonna let me put it in full screen. So if you can't see it well, just let me know. I know the slides will be available after, so if we're not able to watch it, you guys can watch it after. But it is basically a young gentleman that ends up learning about supported decision making right prior, the night before his parents are about to get guardianship for him. And so it's just a great little short story about that, and really powerful. So let me see if it'll.
Where's the volume? Where's the volume?
It's not even giving me the option of
no.
Okay, so we'll skip it because I don't want to make us wait,
but it'll be available to you.
It will. So I apologize. I think what ends up happening in the video, though, he's a young gentleman. He learns about supported decision making, and it's the night before his parents have the hearing scheduled to get guardianship for him. And he learns about supported decision making. He's like, wait a second, I could do supported decision making. Like, maybe I don't need guardianship then if I can do this. And so he goes to his parents and he shares all the information about supported decision making, says he wants to do it. They do a deep dive into it that night. And they're like, maybe you can do this. And they actually decide to not get guardianship over him. And he tries supported decision making and is successful with it. And so it really changes that trajectory of, what his parents thought for him and what he thought. So it's a great video. So hopefully we'll get to watch it after. So we're gonna get to the next topic. It's on supported decision making, or as we like to use acronyms, it's SDM is the acronym. So supported decision making was signed into law in July 2019. So is a legal, like if you have a formal, you practice it informally or formally, and formally, if you're practicing it, there's a draft SDM agreement that you can use, and there's links embedded in these slides. So when you guys get them after, you can check out the agreement. You can change the agreement to whatever you want, but it's kind of just like a template that you can use. But it's a legal document. So like you can take this and give it to doctors and give it to hospitals, you can give it to banks, so you're legally saying that these people that you have chosen, as they call them, supporters, to help support you with certain decisions, that they can legally help you. And so just like some of these other things, alternatives, as we call them, so other things that you can use instead of guardianship is power of attorney, or POA, and you can have that over healthcare and or financial. And just like that's a legal document, so is supported decision making. And you can use it in combination with these things too. So other financial things that you can have with supported decision making or by itself is you can have dual bank accounts, or an ABLE account, which is an account that allows adults with disabilities to have more than that 2,000 cap that is for Social Security income, SSI, and Social Security disability insurance, SSDI. So those have like limits of how much you can have monthly. ABLE account allows someone to save more money, or trust, special needs trust. And there's a ton of other ones too. But really, it just enables individuals to make your own decisions about your life and with the people that you've chosen, rather than having people make decisions for you. It promotes self-determination, independence, and it's an effective alternative to guardianship. So again, it's a way that people can do this instead of having guardianship. And you can also actually use it to get out of guardianship. If you can show that you can do supported decision making, you can actually petition to the court to get out of guardianship. And as I said, it can kind of range from informal, which so informal would be like, so I always give the example, my father had Parkinson's and I practiced, yes, he did. And I practiced supported decision making with him because informally, and I would just present information to him in a way that he could understand it. I really lay out the choices. Ultimately, he made the decision, but I really helped him like really understand what those choices were, what were the decisions he needed to make. Yes. This is how I laid it out to you. This how I presented it to him in a way that he could understand it. So I practiced it informally because he was not going to let me make decisions for him, but he really did need support at that time. He was not able to clearly understand everything the doctor said anymore and stuff, but he was still an older adult, and he was also full-blooded Italian. So I don't know if you know anybody that's full-blooded Italian, but they are not going to be told what to do. So it was a great way to be able to support him during that time, but still let him be independent in making his own decisions as much as he could. That's really the core of supported decision making. And then, as I said, formally, you can have this actual agreement that you can take to places, to doctors and people, and you can say like, nope, I am having these people be my supporters in these areas. And as I mentioned before, I just think we all get support from other people to make decisions. I didn't make any big life decision in my life without talking to other people. Even like I said, buying a car, getting a new job, anything. We talk to other people, we ask their opinions. What do you think about my resume? What about interview questions? Like, we all do it. So this is no different, and it's no different for people with disabilities to need other people.
And it's like decision making when it comes to merchandise or anything like that. Like any merchandise, like rings or watches, anything you wanna call it, or bracelets or shoes or clothes or all that.
We ask opinions from everybody
Absolutely.
when we're going to buy stuff. Yeah, I think we totally do. So it's no different for this. Like, this is the same kind of concept. It's just, like I said, kind of can be a legal form that you can have. So people have to respect what you're saying, that you want these people to help you with these decisions. They can have a seat at the table with you to help. But understanding that you're ultimately going to make the decision. So some of the thing that the supporters that you've chosen, you can have one, you can have a team of supporters. They can help with different aspects. Typically it's around like financial, medical, healthcare, but it can
Yes.
be even more than that. It's all up to what you want people to help you with.
Yeah.
But they can help you understand information, what your options are, what your responsibilities are. You know, they can help you make pro and con lists. They
Right.
can, you know, help you can sign stuff that says that they can get your records for you and get that information for you. They can help you understand it. It's all about presenting in a way that they know that you're going to understand it. That maybe like a doctor talking to you, like, I don't know, every time a doctor's talking to me, I feel like it's going over my head. But if somebody else could explain that to me in simpler terms, I'd be like, oh, okay, that's what they were asking. That's what this means. And also they can help ensure that what your wishes were followed. So you can actually have someone, if you've made a decision on a procedure, but you don't feel comfortable sharing that with the doctor, you can have them on your behalf share that. So
Right,
you've made the
exactly.
decision about it, but you can say, I'm gonna have this person relay what that decision was.
Right, exactly.
So that's a lot of kind of what they can help with. And then because the list of supporters, you can have a ton of different people be supporters. So we actually found out it was easier to put who can't be a supporter because basically you can ask anybody but these few people. So you can't have a person who's your employer or employee unless that person is an immediate family member.
Yes.
You can't have a person who's directly provides services to you unless they're an immediate family member. And then the last one is a person, you can't have a person against whom you have a protective order or is illegally prohibited to contact you. So like say you have a restraining order against this person, you can't ask them to be your supporter.
Exactly.
So that, and other than those three, you can have anybody be your supporter. So it's really wide open, and that's what makes that great too. You can have community people, community resources, you can have family, you can have friends, you can have, like I said, a gambit of people, and they can help with different areas.
And you need like I said, you need the right people as well.
Yeah.
And the right, advocate as well. Because like I said, like if you don't have the right advocate, it's like it's not getting you anywhere.
Yes.
It's not they'll make either the wrong decision or anything like that. I'll put you in a situation. It's like what happened, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
yeah, you want to choose people you trust that understand you, how you communicate, what your needs are,
yes.
how you take information in. Yeah, those are the kind of people you want to ask. And everyone has to agree. So if you do a supported decision-making agreement, not only the person, with the disability that is doing the agreement, the people that you've asked to be a supporter have to agree and sign it as well.
Yes.
And you can make changes to it if you need to.
Yeah.
The difference, kind of the biggest difference between the supported decision agreement and like a power of attorney is basically if you have a power of attorney of healthcare, that only comes into place if, say, I couldn't make a decision anymore. Say I, was in the hospital and I wasn't coherent enough or awake enough to be able to make a decision.
Yeah,
if I had a power, if I had a power of attorney for healthcare, I've assigned somebody else to step in and make those decisions for me. Whereas supported decision making, I would still make the decisions, and it's all the time. So it doesn't have to come into play only when I cannot make a decision. It's all the time. You're able to have these people help you with these decisions. And like I said, you can have both so that if something were to happen to you, you still have that extra safety net of having somebody help when you're not able to make decisions. So we wanted to kind of like talk a little bit about supported decision, like in action and how that works. So I'm going to hand it over to Nick a little bit if you want to share a little bit about the pictures and about who you are, and then we'll go into some questions.
Sure. Yeah, obviously this is my picture of me, two pictures I made for the slide right here, and it's me going to see a prom in that left picture right there.
The suit, yeah.
Yeah, that's me 6 years ago now. And,
wow.
Almost 7 now. I was about 19 in that one. And then that one right there, me with the beard right there, that's me in Longhorn actually restaurant.
Yeah.
Having actually going out to see, actually I was getting ready to go see a concert actually at the Performing Arts Center in Providence there. And great. I was actually going to see Jersey Boys actually for the first or second time, I believe. And that's actually one of the greatest artists I've actually seen in years I've been listening to music.
Cool.
And that was about a couple of years ago, I think that picture was taken. And I was having, I think it was like white or red
I think it's white wine.
Yeah.
You can't see it because of people blocking it. But I want to say it's white wine when I put it on there.
Yeah, I think it was white wine. It was actually about my first or second year of drinking, having a couple of drinking here and there.
Yeah.
It was actually one of the best ones I ever had. And you should try that, Lauren. It's
To try that. The middle picture, in case you don't know, that's just like the first page of the sample supported decision-making agreement, just so you can have an idea of like just how simple it is. And our resource page has links to this, to that agreement, and to anything that we mention in this video, to that video. I mean, during this presentation, but it has that video that we couldn't show and everything. So, so Nick, why did you choose supported decision-making?
Well, lots of reasons. One of them is because that first of all, you're free to make decisions on your own outside of home and even at home in yourself. Even when it comes to like financial as well, it is really helpful especially to this day. And number three is that you don't need to have someone coddle, and go like, oh yeah, do this. You know what I mean? Every 5 seconds, you know what I mean? And, because if someone's, hovering over you, it's like, it makes you want to retaliate and say, hey, let me make my own decisions, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, because, because they're going to, they'll stop. They won't stop doing that, you know what I mean? And, but yeah.
You're an adult and you want to make your decisions. That makes sense.
And especially, walk, freely, without someone, hovering over you all the time. And and especially living by yourself too, making that decision as well. I mean, I live by myself downstairs, but outside of home, it's, thankfully it's, easier now.
Yeah.
I always feel like that's the main thing is, especially outside of home, when it comes to that, it's very handy, especially when it comes to supported decision making and when it comes to getting your license. Usually people at my age there's not a lot of people that do get their list. Some people don't get the list till like 23.
Yeah, some people are waiting longer now. So
Yes,
you're able to make these decisions and have people help you. Do you have an actual formal supported decision-making agreement?
Yes, I do have it. I have it with my mom.
Awesome.
We made it about, like I said, 6 years now. Like I said, we've had it still for a good, almost 7 years. We've had this decision. I turned my chapter. I turned my chapter. I think it's that going on 7 years now.
That's great.
Since I was 19, and that, like I said, that was a new law. Like I said, my mom faithfully sat me down and everything and
explained it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, who are some of the supporters that you chose?
Oh, my mom and even like my mom, my dad. That's my main, supporters and everything like that.
Yeah. So, what kind of things do your mom and dad support you with? Like financial? Is there
financial, anything like just anything outside, like in general, and even like my decision making when it comes to like clothing and everything like that, and they don't care what I wear. Like I can dress like that first photo, like a cowboy, like all day if I wanted. I like that kind of dress, honestly.
Nice.
And I like cowboy hats, don't get me wrong.
So do you have any other supporters that are listed in your plan?
Oh my God.
Your sister?
My sister, yes. I think my sister is like the third or fourth one, I believe.
Do you remember what she helps you with?
My sister, advocacy.
Nice.
Especially sticking up. That is a big thing with my sister. My sister would yell if she has to. Don't mess with my sister. Because she'll yell if she has to. She'll yell like
She's a good advocate.
Oh yeah, she'll literally have to. She'll literally scream if she has to.
And so, who else? Do you have any friends on there?
Like I have a buddy. Like I said, he has autism too, but he's older than I am now.
Yeah.
He's almost 20 years old, and he has the same, little similar thing to me. I mean, he lives in an apartment. He lives all the way in Barrington though.
Yeah.
Now, and he's living in Barrington since week 1.
Wow, that's awesome. What does he help you with? What's
He helps me. Let's see, make decision made where we're gonna go.
Where we're gonna go?
Where we're gonna go to.
Yeah.
Which lounge are we gonna go sit at?
What to do socially, that's fine.
Like I said, we grew up, with this lounge and everything like that, and like, okay, let's go have coffee at this place. You know what I mean? And
Do you guys like talk about like relationships or dating or anything too?
well, like I said, the main thing that ever since my friend got engaged, he got engaged last fall already.
Wow.
Almost 1 year, which is insane. And he like I said, he had to wait a few years.
Yeah.
Everything going, cuckoo, with everything out there.
Yeah, I understand you wanted to wait. Yeah, probably couldn't have as many people there when you
No, absolutely
the
not.
pandemic. That makes sense.
Well, not just that, I'm talking about outside of all of that, but everything with financial, especially.
Yes.
I think that's where that really comes in. But yeah, like I said, him and I talk about, what do you do on this day? What kind of things do you want to do outside of all of the things?
Your things you have to do,
Yes,
like work and stuff.
Well, not just and for fun stuff like that's what I mean. Like,
yeah.
I think that's the key with him and I. I think that's when it comes really helpful in some ways too.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but here and there, yes. But him and I will go we'll go to Newport. We'll go to Brandon Point and Newport. Yeah.
Awesome.
We went last summer, a couple times.
Nice.
Sometimes we don't want to get out of the car because it's blazing hot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And you do not want to sit out there 5 seconds in that 96-degree weather. It's not fun.
No.
And it's like you're boiling out there not even 2 minutes.
So can you provide an example of a time when a supporter helped you and what that looks like?
Well, let's say my sister a couple times, yeah. My sisters wanted to kill some people, wanted to hurt them. And
We love Mia, just
yeah,
saying.
yeah,
Love
Mia,
her.
like I said,
Mia's his sister.
so I have a sister myself who's 21, who's already almost a nurse, but
Awesome.
I'll tell you what, she'll stick up for anybody, and yeah, you don't want to get if you
You
gotta
don't want to get on her bad side.
yeah, you gotta go through her, and if you gotta do something, to bully somebody.
Yeah,
my
that
sister-
makes sense.
My sister will.
But I think you had mentioned about having you had your gallbladder out in December.
Yes.
Did something happen there and it
No.
kind of helped having like your
Well,
supporter?
I had the problem in November, but I took it out into December.
Yeah.
But I had to go to the ambulance 8 o'clock at night. Like I said, guys, don't never eat fats with gallbladder issues. It actually does trigger it, and it does hurt. It actually loops out on your side actually the stone itself.
Yeah.
And actually what it did to me actually, it looped into my right side of my hip.
Ooh.
And it looped right up, and sure enough, I'm in the ambulance 8 o'clock at night, going to Newport Hospital, and I'm going like this. What did I do with my life? And never eat anything salt with that. They say
A lot of salt.
they say it triggers it. Actually, they say sugary too. Actually, sugary foods actually, like candy. They say
There's a lot of things that can trigger that.
they say it's terrible, and it will actually even more than one time if you're having this problem. They say you have to take out or even actually this one was such a I even didn't want to put this on social media. This thing the wording would be too terrifying. It's like,
So I know mom shared that she brought your she has healthcare power of attorney, and you have the supported decision making, so she brought both to the hospital.
yes. Yes, she
And then
did.
she explained what it was, the supported decision making, because it is still it's 2019, but some people still don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But the hospital was great. They
Yes. Newport
they
Hospital.
let her explain everything to you and in a way that you could understand it, so that you
Yes.
could make really informed decisions.
Yes.
And they also allowed her in the recovery room sooner because of
Yes.
having it. So that was
Oh yeah, and I
that was
think
good.
like I said, please find if you do go to the hospital, if you are a parent, please advocate for your kid and for when it comes to that stuff, especially when it's very very serious like that. Like
Yeah.
what I had, ask if you could be in the room, or if your son is comfortable with you in the room. Go to a hospital that allows that, because I feel there's not a lot of hospitals that do allow that, and they'll make a big fuss.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he can make his own decisions like that, and
Well, that's why you have the agreement and
No,
mom brought
yes.
it and they have to respect that.
oh, exactly. And,
Perfect.
and I feel like there's not a lot of people that don't out there. They'll make a big fuss like, oh, he has autism or something like that, like in that kind
Yeah.
of tone. You know what I mean?
Do you have any advice to people that are thinking about supported decision making?
Yes, there's a lot. Please don't when you if you are going to be a part of that plan, please be wise about it.
Yeah.
And please be mindful. Never second question your son's decision making when it comes to that. Because like I said, it goes into an argument, and they'll argue back and forth if you second question, they're like, oh, why is that? You know what I mean? Like almost like second questioning someone in general.
Mm-hmm.
Never make that mistake with anybody. I've seen it all my life. I've heard about families like that already.
Yeah.
And I already know actually a family already having that problem, and it's getting common these days, which is annoying in ways. In some ways, it's understanding, because like I said, they don't understand supportive decision making in general.
Yeah, I think that's part of it is the awareness, definitely. And
And awareness is
it's getting better, but we gotta get it out there more. And I think you also shared while you're talking, like sometimes you just need practice with stuff.
Yes.
So I mean, you're gonna need practice, and how we were talking before about just using those teachable moments of if you made a wrong decision and to learn from
Yes,
it. And that's how you
absolutely.
learn is you practice and you talk about it. And
And I would invite it out there too. Please have sit downs with whatever. Especially you gotta at least have a couple people. In certain occasions, or even through it depends on the occasion. Like I said, sport. Like I said, if you're in sports, that's a different story. Like I said, or if you're in Comcast, that's a different thing too. Or a contract, that's a different kind of contract that you have to be a part of.
yes.
But
And I know you shared before too with us that for like youth, as like Bethany was saying, like start young with the
Yeah.
decisions in any way
Yes.
that you can. And parents, that way parents can trust that you can make decisions.
yes, absolutely.
Because if you start really young with building these skills, as we talked about, and that's why I think we talk about self-determination first, because those are the skills that you need to then put supported decision making in action. So if you and it's never too late to build those skills, but the younger you can start, the better. And then that way too, you can build up that trust and build up the skills of decision making.
Absolutely. Even my girlfriend, and she's going through she has a supportive decision making as well outside of it.
Awesome.
And like I said, we always help out. And sometimes I always help her out myself. Because especially outside of home, because like especially when it comes to like comfort, you know what I mean? What you're comfortable doing, what you're not, because I always like to advocate, especially when it comes to like her work. They want some business, they want crazy hours, and that she's not comfortable doing.
Yeah, so you'll be able to advocate and say that, and a supporter can help, like your sister supports you with the advocacy and stands up for you and you need it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you care if we ask if anybody has any questions for you?
I'm sure. Yes, go right ahead.
Anybody have any questions for Nick about his agreement or about, supported decision making? Feel free to come off
Anybody going on once or twice?
or I know Taylor's watching the chat, but
Anybody got a question? Want to go on twice? Once?
once, twice, nothing. Oh, that was really good. No, I think it was perfect.
Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, you shared a lot of great examples. And all right, so these are our resources. And again, I think you guys are going to get all copies of the PowerPoints, and they're also going to put it on the website, the recording.
Yeah, everything goes on the website.
With the slides.
Yeah.
So our resources, we have like our general website. We have some self-determination ones. We have the stories. This link has that video that we couldn't share. And then we also have these links. The local one will give you the supported decision-making agreement, but also some other resources. And then I know we did talk about the ABLE account, so I did a link to that. And then I just wanted to mention that the Sherlock Center has some new networks. So we run a self-directed supports network that's been going on for a long time. Self-directed is one of the services that you can get if you're getting services through behavioral health care, developmental disabilities in hospitals, or BHDH.
Yes, absolutely.
But we're going to have some new networks. We're going to have a parent network for any adult with a disability. We're going to have a sibling network of adult with disability, and we're going to have a self-advocate. So anybody that would relate themselves as a self-advocate as an adult with a disability. And then lastly, we shared this link that we had developed these Medicaid impact stories, just because with everything that's going on right now and the possible cuts to Medicaid, we really wanted to be able to share with people the way that people are using Medicaid and getting these services that are really important to them and crucial to have. So we have like a one-pager and a link on our website for some stories that we got. So, and if anyone ever wants to share any stories about how Medicaid and these services are benefiting you, please reach out to us. We'd love to add to it. It's like we said, we just think it's really important for everyone to know so they don't make these major cuts to Medicaid and these services.
So when it comes to like Medicare, I always say, especially living by yourself, be very careful the amount of the weight, especially like eating. I've always been very advocate about what I eat, because I cut down the last few years.
Yeah, you need to watch it and you watch what you eat, stay healthy.
You have to stay active as well, because if, like I said, it'll like I said, everything starts to change if you don't do anything about it. And
and the older you get, the harder it gets.
yes, absolutely, especially physically, especially.
Yes.
I always see, I've always been advocate about my physical self, especially outside of home.
Yeah.
And even now, I don't go after 7 o'clock at night. That's one thing. That's another skill I learned. Not to eat after 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because like I said,
good skill.
Because like I said, oh yeah, I'm gonna have this in like 5 seconds of eating, because like. I believe, you can blow it up like that. People can get unhealthy like that. High blood sugar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it snowballs definitely. So our last page has all of our contacts. So feel free. I know we had mentioned, Alex, if you wanted to reach out to us after this is our contacts. If you want to take it down, we'd be happy to connect. If anyone has any questions, comments, we'd love to hear it. And just thank you guys all for joining. We really appreciate it.
Any questions going on, one?
Alex has a question.
Yes, you. How about you, sir?
What about I think it's interesting is the concept of the discerning ear. Before you, obviously, it's actually for Nick, question kind of for you is, before you were in this world, did you struggle with
What you say I struggle with talking?
Before you were in this, you sought help from this agency. Did you have any difficulty in the discerning ear, being able to tell what advice and who it was from, check the facts, sort of see if people know what the heck they're talking about?
Do you remember where you first learned about supported decision making? Was it your mom?
Yes, it was my mom for sure. And like I said, it depends on the person who's asking. At the time that, like I said, before I had a hard time advocating for myself. It was before I got to this age, but it was when I was really little.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about born up to I started talking at 7 years old.
Wow.
And then I start getting I didn't start getting to adulthood until I got to my adulthood kind of early in my life. I actually didn't start to feel like that until about 17.
17, yeah.
Until I started feeling and started to advocate a little differently.
Yeah, so you learned from your mom about supported decision making.
Yes.
And then she told you about it. You kind of learned more about it, and then you chose who you wanted your supporters to be and stuff, and what areas they were going to help you with.
That's correct.
But there's tons of resources on supported decision making, and to learn more about it. There is also a supported decision making coalition that Anne's actually on. So Bethany and myself, and it's and anyone's welcome to ever join.
Yes.
And a big part of what we try to do in the coalition is just spread more word about it, and also help people if they need help with learning, doing the agreement, developing one, getting connected to figure out who could your supporters be. That's the whole point of the coalition. So,
and honestly, make sure you get your support decision wisely.
Yes.
Because one wrong decision like that, especially when it comes to the person helping you.
You want to choose the right people to help you, and you should trust them. They should know you. Like we said, they should know like how you retain information, what's the best way to present it to you. So I think that's one of the biggest challenges is just figuring out who you like. Do you have people in your circle and your team that could help you with
And
that?
I think that goes to the heart of Alex's question. You know, Alex, I always tell my son that when you're getting advice from people in helping you make a decision or any other kind of advice, the most important thing is to ask yourself, the person that you're talking to, do they have your best interests in mind?
Yes.
Are they invested in your safety and in your happiness? Those are the people that you trust with these types of pieces of advice.
Absolutely, brother.
And also, you know, sorry to interrupt, but kind of like making sure that they check the facts, because if someone's fortunately it's never happened to me, but if someone's telling me that ice cream is good for me, then I know that it's garbage. It's not good advice.
Definitely.
No, exactly. Because
That's
like,
just a little
and
example.
honestly, you need the right advice because if you get the wrong advice, it's like what are you taking? You know what I mean? To give that kind of wrong information or something like
It
that.
becomes destructive, the wrong advice. It could
So
bad things.
and you can change your supporters too. But I think a lot of the work is doing that front work of figuring out who those people are that you want to provide that support and advice to you. And you can, like I said, say what ways that they provide it. Like if you're someone that wants, you know, I want the research of what's good about this and what's bad about it, and you to present that to me in a way that I get it, you know, that's what you can say. Like that's how you need it presented to you. Like I'm a pro con list type of person. So, you know, everyone's different how they like stuff presented to them. But you can change them too. If it's not working out with the supporter, or you think like I'm not happy with this person, you can go back to the table and fix that agreement and take them off and pick someone else, or, you know, that's what's nice about it.
And another thing, you have to make sure if you do choose the group, you have to make sure that they have not been in trouble. That's my biggest thing. I hate for someone to run into someone who's going to help, who's already been in trouble, but not just outside of home. Who's been in trouble with the law. Who's been in trouble with this kind of or this group's been in trouble.
Good advice. Yeah, you don't want people that are, maybe been criminals and they're helping you make decisions around financial things. Very true.
Or any decision for that matter. You don't want
any decision.
for you.
True. So I think that's the biggest thing is trying to figure out who those people are, and then
or what life they lived before it.
Are there background checks? Like, do they check everything like before they background checks probably are mandatory everywhere, but you can probably check it out and sort of.
So you could choose to do that. You could ask people to get background checks and stuff before.
But that's not
it's not a requirement.
It's not a requirement of a supported decision making agreement.
No, it is an option.
So absolutely, it's an option for the individual who's choosing their supporters. Yes.
Because they're not. I think why it's not a requirement, as opposed to like say someone's going to be like a support staff, a direct support staff, DSP. Like they're working directly with you, they're like providing a service that's required to have background check, where this is like you're asking them to support you in decisions. And you can require anything from them, but it's not required on the form. But as the form does say, they can't have any like legal reason, like a restraining order or some kind of like legal thing that they're not supposed to help you.
Exactly. They can't have any like restraining orders or anything like that, because they have a restraining order. That's no bueno. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know with the law they didn't want to get too specific because they also didn't want to make it difficult for people to do it. But you can require whatever you want of your supporters. That's your choice as the person that's going to have the agreement.
Exactly.
Excellent information.
Any other questions? I know we're getting close to time.
Any questions going on once or twice? Anybody?
We appreciate it. Thank you guys all for choosing this presentation. We hope you enjoyed it, and we definitely had a good time.
Yes,
Good
absolutely.
information.
And like I said, if you're getting a car with somebody, make sure they're safe and make sure they're not flying like it's the train factory.
Yeah, you want someone that's gonna drive good. That's
Make sure
right.
they're not playing on their phone while they're driving you around.
Because sometimes they'll be driving with two hands and like so oblivious what's on the road.
They're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, they're on Snapchat.
Exactly.
Very true. See.
Well, thanks everyone for joining us.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you, ladies. Thank you,
the best of
Nick.
your
You did a great
I was
job.
happy to record
Have a
it,
great
too.
day.
Thank you.
Thank
Good to see you all.
All the way to the right. All the way right there.
You know how to leave, right? Right?
Yep. I think that's it. Thank you, Keith.